Okay, so back to one of the other terms, which is flux or biophysical flux.
Yeah.
It's a principle that as we are part of a global ecosystem, then when we die, the minerals and energy in our body should be returned back into the ecosystem from where it came. So the human being is an assemblage of molecules that have been drawn from the atmosphere through the plants, the soils, and so forth. And so we are the custodians of that energy and those minerals during our life. But the idea is that a Vetan burial would involve some process by which you would basically be interred back into the soil, that your body would break down.
Yeah.
Oh, not the greatest word to use, David, but that's
Yeah.
what was got in mind. And so
Yeah.
the standard green burial, like I'll give you an example. My father passed in 2005, and his process was the opposite of what I'm talking about. So father's
Yeah.
ashes remain in a plastic bucket on my shed in Noosa. I tried to sprinkle some in the Cleveland Bay off the back of my mate's catamaran, but the wind blew the ashes in my face, so we gave up on that. Okay, and also when he was cremated, he was put in it was like a plywood casket with little plastic gold handles, and he was wearing polyester. And so we basically and he was combusted using gas. So that whole process was ecologically unsustainable in as many ways as you can think.
Agree. Yep.
And the poor bugger now sits still in the plastic bucket. So imagine that is what we should not be doing from a Vetan funerary perspective.
We can still compost him, put him back into the soil somewhere.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's processes. There's a company called Recompose, which has got an advanced high temperature composting process. It takes about a week, and you end up with basically a barrow full of humus that can go onto soils, or you can just bury people in the ground. That's the old way of doing it, but wrap them in cotton. And so that's the idea of how do you respect this philosophy about being part of nature through funerary practice. And the idea is that the body breaks down and goes back into the flux, and the flux is basically the biophysical molecular movement of molecules and minerals going through the soil. So back to your entropy sort of idea, that a structure has low entropy, but when that structure is dissolved, it has high entropy. So basically your body is broken apart into its molecular form, releasing its energy into the high entropy space from which order and plant life grows out again. That's the idea.
Okay.